Welcoming once again Lady Laura Clapper.
This is the story of the birth of the hero Theseus. His father was Aegeus, king of Athens, but Theseus was born in Troezene. Now, how did that happen? Well, here's the story. Aegeus had no male heir, and back in the ancient days it was pretty sticky-wicky if you didn't have a male heir. So he did like so many of his fellows in those days. He decided to go consult with the oracle at Delphi. He went up there and asked her, "Why no son?" And she came back at him quick and to the point. She said, "Do not untie the wineskin until you get home." And that is a direct quote. We would think that Aegeus would go home immediately. Nope. He decided that what he needed to do was to go visit his old friend down in Troezene, Theseus, king of Troezene. Now let me show you what that looks like travel-wise. Here is Delphi. Here is Athens. And across and way over here and way down here is Troezene. Yes, now, the entire world knows that Aegeus has no son to take his throne. That means every aristocrat throughout the Mediterranean world is making plans for Aegeus. Theseus, who has a fecund daughter, plots. This is why the oracle told him, keep it zipped. So he goes to Troezene. But before he arrives, Theseus has a word with his daughter. "Aethra," he says, "the king of Athens is coming for a visit. Now, I am going to throw him a huge banquet. It's going to be the most beautiful banquet ever." "Yes, father, and I want you to dress prettily. But don't sit next to Aegeus. I want you to sit back a ways and look demure, and every once in a while, look up at him." "Oh, you want me to flirt?" "Okay, but what about the queen? Isn't the queen coming?" "No queen this trip." Oh, you want me to sleep with that guy? Well, poor old Theseus, the temptation to have a grandson sitting on the throne of Athens is way too much for him to bear. And Aethra, being a daughter in that day and age, well, the daughters obeyed their fathers implicitly. So Aethra obeys. On the night of the banquet, Aegeus can't help but notice Aethra. She's what you guys would call nice. Theseus pretends to fall asleep in his chair. Aethra gets up and walks slowly across the banquet hall and out. Aegeus's eyes are following her the whole time. He waits what he thinks is appropriate amount of time before following her out. About 3 seconds. Outside, Aethra is already swimming towards this barge that's anchored a little ways out. It has a bedroom. Isn't that convenient? She throws herself across the bed, and here comes the eager king. Aegeus unties his wineskin that night. The next morning, before the dawn, he swims back to Troezene, and before the sun is even up, he is sailing back to Athens. Aethra wakes up because there is a man sitting on the edge of her bed. And she said, "Oh." And the man stood up, very stately-like, and he spoke to her, and he said, "Aethra, I am the god of the seas, and listen carefully now to what I have to say. Here it comes on enunciation. Aethra, you will bear a son, and you will name him Theseus. Raise him up carefully. In your father's garden, Aegeus has left a treasure for his son. But you are not to tell the boy who his father is. He will only know who his father is if he finds the treasure. Don't say anything except that there's a treasure. Raise him up carefully, for much depends upon this boy when he becomes a man. Then the god walked over to the edge, close to the water. Tell the boy, he will have my blessings, but he must earn my esteem. And then Poseidon disappeared into the Aegean Sea. All through her pregnancy, Aethra worshipped daily at Poseidon's temple. And when her time came, it was just as the god said. She delivered a beautiful baby boy. She raised him carefully, educated his mind as well as his body. All the religious rites were followed because she wanted him to have strength of character. From his grandfather, he learned the arts of hunting and war. When the boy was 16 years old, he came to his mother and he asked her, "Who's my daddy?" And that's when she said to him, "There is a treasure in your grandfather's garden left there by your father. You find it, and you will know who your father is." Immediately, Theseus put this problem to work in his head. This is when he had one of those Gnostic moments, when he realized that, oh, he will have left that treasure someplace significant. And so throughout that year, he studied that garden. On his 17th birthday, he took a run all the way around his grandfather's palace and went down the main path that ended at the shore. And at that place, there was a big flat rock. And he got up on that rock and he looked out over the Aegean Sea, and that's when it hit him. That rock pointed towards Athens. He jumped down and with his bare hands he began to dig in the soil. And then he could shove the rock off. And there it was. His father's treasure left to him. A cloak, a sword, and a pair of sandals. He grabbed them up and ran back to his mother's apartments. "Mother, mother, look what I found." "Ah, yeah. Try on those sandals." The sandals fit. Look at that sword. He pulled the sword from its sheath. It was a beautiful weapon, the kind used by kings. And on its hilt was engraved a likeness of the goddess Athena. "My father is Aegeus of Athens." "Oh, yes. I want to meet him. Will he accept me?" "Yes, he will." "When can I go? Tomorrow?" "Though it pains me, you can go tomorrow." "How do I get there?" "If you would be your father's son, you will take the road up and around the isthmus because it is dangerous and there are many challenges there. But if you survive it, your reputation and your name will precede you into Athens. They will know who you are." The next day, before sunrise, Theseus, dressed in his father's cloak and wearing his sandals, the sword by his side, was blessed by his grandfather and embraced by his mother. "Be wary, my son," she told him. "Use your head backed up by your strength." And with that, Theseus turned northeast and took his first step into his destiny.